Cruise ship secrets. 10 things your cabin steward secretly hates you're doing. Your cabin steward is hiding something from you, something that could make or break your entire cruise experience. They're working 16-hour days, managing 20 cabins, and haven't had a single day off in 4 months. And you're probably making their impossible job even harder without even knowing it. Today, we're exposing the 10 things passengers do that secretly drive cabin stewards absolutely insane. Some will shock you, others might make you realize you've been that passenger. And stick around for number 7, because it involves something so disgusting that cruise lines had to shut down toilets for hundreds of passengers at once. Number 1, leaving the Do Not Disturb sign up all day while you're out. This seems innocent enough, right? You hang that little sign thinking you're being considerate, maybe you'll come back for a nap. But here's what you don't know. Your steward manages 20 cabins on a military-precise schedule. When you leave that sign up and disappear for 8 hours, you've just created a logistical nightmare. They can't enter your room, period. Even if they watch you leave for your shore excursion. That sign is an absolute force field they cannot cross. By 6 p.m., when you finally return expecting a made bed and fresh towels, your room looks exactly like you left it. And now your steward has to squeeze your cleaning into their already packed evening schedule, pushing back dinner service for other guests. Former crew members report this is the #1 cause of guest complaints about forgotten rooms. But here's the kicker. The room wasn't forgotten. You literally told them to stay out. After 24 hours, security gets involved. They have to enter for safety checks. So that privacy you wanted? Gone. And your steward gets blamed for the mess, even though they followed your instructions perfectly. Number 2, treating the toilet like a garbage disposal. Let me paint you a picture that'll haunt your next cruise. Symphony of the Seas, 2025, decks 5 through 7, 3 days without working toilets. Why? Because passengers keep flushing things that turn cruise ship plumbing into expensive disasters. Here's what passengers don't understand. Cruise toilets use vacuum systems where multiple cabins share the same pipes. When you flush those flushable wipes, you're not just risking your own toilet. You're potentially shutting down bathrooms for dozens of cabins above and below you. The horror stories are real. Crown Princess had 410 toilets out of service for 13 hours. Disney Magic had sewage backing up into staterooms. The fix? Plumbers literally have to cut open pipes and manually remove whatever you flushed. We're talking about crew members handling your used feminine products, your wet wipes, your cotton swabs. Hours of disgusting work because you couldn't use the trash can that's literally right there. One plumber told cruise radio that passengers have flushed everything from condoms to diapers. Yes, diapers. In what universe does anyone think a diaper will flush? The repair costs run thousands of dollars. And guess what? If they trace it back to your cabin, you're getting that bill. Number 3, the towel crimes that cost everyone. Your steward processes 29,000 towels daily on ships like Oasis of the Seas. That's not a typo. 29,000 by hand. So when you commit these towel sins, you're not just being annoying, you're destroying a system that barely functions already. The worst offense? Hanging wet towels on balcony railings. Not only is this explicitly forbidden, but those towels fly overboard faster than you can say, man overboard. Now the ship is down towels. You're getting charged $25 for a missing pool towel, and your steward has to explain to their supervisor why the towel inventory doesn't match. But here's what really drives them crazy. Using pristine white towels to remove makeup, wipe off sunscreen, or clean up spills. That foundation stain? Permanent. That's self-tanner. Never coming out. Each ruined towel costs the cruise line money and creates more work for laundry staff already working 24-hour shifts. And those cute towel animals you love? Norwegian eliminated them on 4 ships because passengers would unfold them, use the towels, then expect new animals every night. Your steward isn't a towel origami artist. They're a hospitality professional managing 20 rooms who now has to spend extra time making you a swan because you specifically requested one. Number 4, entering the cabin before it's ready on embarkation day. Picture this. It's noon on embarkation day. Your steward has exactly 4 hours to completely transform 20 cabins from the previous guests to spotless rooms for new arrivals. They're moving at lightning speed. Then you show up, you see the doors unlocked, push your way in, and suddenly they're working around your luggage, your questions, and your presence. What should take 15 minutes now takes 30. Multiply that by 20 rooms and the entire deck's schedule collapses. Former housekeeping supervisors reveal embarkation day is without doubt the busiest day. Every minute counts. When you barge in early, you force them to work out of sequence. The bathroom might not be sanitized. The bed linens might be sitting in the hallway. Safety equipment hasn't been checked, but now they have to pretend everything's fine while you're standing there asking where the gym is. The result? Other passengers get their rooms late. Your steward gets written up for delays. and that great first impression you wanted. You've just guaranteed your steward will remember you as the passenger who made their impossible day even worse. Number 5. Leaving garbage everywhere like it's a frat house. Here's something that'll blow your mind. Your steward isn't your personal maid. They're managing multiple rooms under crushing time pressure, and you're treating your cabin like a dumpster. Former cruise HR managers report passengers routinely leave plates and glasses throughout the hallways after eating. Food on the floor, trash on the balcony, empty bottles rolling under the bed. One steward described walking into a cabin that looked like a hurricane hit a liquor store. But here's the real problem. Cruise ships have strict sanitation scores to maintain. When you leave food out, you're inviting pests. Those ants, flies, or worse that show up, they don't stay in your cabin. They spread. Now your steward has to deep clean not just your room, but potentially treat an entire corridor for pests. The time they waste picking up after your party could have been spent actually cleaning. Instead of sanitizing surfaces or replacing amenities, they're on their hands and knees fishing beer cans from under furniture. Is that really how you want them spending their limited time in your room? Number 6. Trying to hide cabin damage like a teenager. You spilled red wine on the carpet, you broke a glass, you left the balcony door open, and wind destroyed the room. Instead of reporting it, you try to hide it. Big mistake. Huge. Your steward knows every inch of those cabins. They'll find that wine stain you covered with a towel. They'll notice the missing lamp you threw overboard. That broken mirror you tried to piece back together? They document everything. Here's what happens next. Maintenance gets called, damage reports get filed, and charges get added to your account. But because you tried to hide it, the charge doubles. Why? Because now they have to investigate what happened, review security footage, and interview staff. One viral TikTok showed a passenger who left their balcony door open. The wind created a tunnel effect that literally destroyed the cabin. Papers everywhere. Furniture overturned. The passenger tried to clean it up and say nothing. Result? A $2,000 damage charge plus the cost of relocating other passengers while repairs were made. Number 7. Flushing things that shut down entire deck plumbing. Remember those horror stories about toilets I mentioned? Let's talk about the single worst thing your steward deals with when you cause a plumbing catastrophe that affects hundreds of passengers. Royal Caribbean's Symphony of the Seas, one of the world's largest cruise ships, had toilets out of service for 3 full days on multiple decks. The cause? Passengers flushing wet wipes. The result? Maintenance crews cutting open walls, removing pipe sections, and manually extracting waste-covered wipes, while passengers complained about the smell and demanded compensation. Your steward becomes the face of this disaster. They're the ones guests scream at when toilets don't work. They're the ones who have to spray air freshener every hour to mask sewage odors. They're the ones who lose their dinner breaks because they're dealing with your mess. Literally, the vacuum assist systems on cruise ships cost millions to install and thousands to repair. When you flush anything except toilet paper, you're rolling the dice on causing a $50,000 repair that ruins the vacation for everyone around you. And your steward, they're the ones who suffer most. Number 8. The fake theft accusations that ruin careers. This one's serious. You can't find your watch. Your cash is missing. Your jewelry disappeared. Your first instinct? Blame the steward. But here's what that accusation really means. Security immediately searches your cabin first. When they don't find it, they search your steward's quarters, in front of their roommate, while other crew members watch. The humiliation is immediate and devastating. One steward described the process. They will search your cabin, and 2 days later, the guest says, I found my thing. No apology, no acknowledgement of what they put that crew member through. Meanwhile, that steward now has a note in their file about a theft investigation, even though they did nothing wrong. Cruise lines have zero tolerance for theft. One proven incident means immediate termination and deportation at the next port. So when you casually accuse someone of stealing because you can't remember where you put your sunglasses, you're potentially destroying someone's career and livelihood. Someone who's thousands of miles from home, supporting their entire family on their cruise salary. Number 9. Ignoring them like they're furniture. Your steward greets hundreds of guests daily, a simple hello or good morning as they work. Most passengers walk past like they're invisible. No eye contact, no acknowledgement, nothing. These crew members work 16-hour days. They haven't seen their families in 6 months. They're cleaning up after people who treat them like robots. And when you can't even acknowledge their existence with a nod, it crushes them. Former crew reveal this is what burns them out faster than the long hours or hard work. It's the dehumanization. One steward said, "We remember the passengers who treat us like humans. We also remember the ones who don't." Here's the thing. Your steward controls more than you realize. They decide whether that extra towel request happens quickly or eventually. They determine if your special celebration gets that extra touch. They influence whether your cabin gets cleaned at 8 a.m. or 3 p.m. Treating them like furniture guarantees minimum service. Treating them like humans? That's how you get the magical touches that make cruises special. Number 10. Making special requests that are literally impossible. Can you clean my room at exactly 10:47 while I'm at breakfast? I need 17 towels but folded into animal shapes. Make sure you don't wake up my husband but completely change the sheets while he's sleeping. Your steward manages 20 rooms on a precise schedule. When you demand specific timing, custom services, or impossible requests, you're not getting VIP treatment. You're destroying their entire system. Norwegian conducted time studies showing stewards were making multiple inefficient trips because of special requests. The result? They eliminated 500 crew positions fleet-wide. Those special requests you think show you're sophisticated? They're the reason cruise lines keep cutting staff while expecting the same service levels. The worst part? Your steward can't say no. They'll smile, agree, and then stress about how to accomplish your impossible request while maintaining their regular duties. That stress follows them through their 16-hour shift, into their windowless shared cabin, through their sleepless night. Here's the bottom line truth cruise lines don't want you to know. Your cabin steward is barely surviving. They're underpaid, overworked, and dealing with passengers who make their jobs unnecessarily difficult. The average steward lasts less than 2 years before burning out. The good ones leave even faster. But here's what you can do. Use common sense, treat them like humans, and remember they're not your personal servants. They're hospitality professionals doing an impossible job under extreme conditions. The way you treat them doesn't just affect your service. It affects whether they make it through their contract without completely breaking down. These aren't just pet peeves or minor annoyances. These are the behaviors that push already exhausted human beings past their breaking point. And now you know better. If this video opened your eyes to what really happens behind your cabin door, hit that like button and subscribe for more cruise truths the industry doesn't want you to know. Comment "Cruise Smart" below if you're ready to be a better passenger on your next voyage. Because being a smart cruiser isn't just about getting the best deals or knowing the ship's secrets. It's about being a decent human being to the people who make your vacation possible.